All right, guys, happy August 9th. Happy Friday, 8:35, coming to you full of excitement, full of energy, and really, really charged up for you guys. And what I mean by that, as a coach and as a leader, our responsibility is to see the hope and see what is possible in you guys, no matter what circumstances, no matter what market conditions, no matter what's happening with the weather. I don't care, because I know what's on the other end of that. And so I'm always looking at 5 miles down the road, what that's going to actually be like for you guys. So the things that you learn here, the preparation, the dialogue, the practicing, the writing, the things that you say here, or I say here, or somebody else says here, that you don't even think you remember. And then all of a sudden, it comes up in your mind when you're in a presentation, when you're doing your calendar, when you have that moment of doubt, or that moment of fear, or that moment of, oh my God, can I do this? You're reminded of something. My hope is something that was said on these calls. And so, you guys, I'm excited for you. And I'm always going to look at everything that is possible in this game and what's possible within each of you. Because why? Because I give a shit. I give a shit about you. I give a shit about your production, about your growth. I give a shit about your kids having a nice Christmas, about you going on vacation, about you buying the things that you want to buy, about you building an ADU so your mom doesn't have to go into a retirement community. I care about all of those things. That's why I continue to show up for you guys. So I just want to say that this morning, I'm beyond grateful for this opportunity to be here, to go full tilt with you guys. And so I'm excited. So let's go ahead and kick this whole session off today. I am going to go over to Ashley. Yes, she's here. Her camera's on. She's not in the car this morning. Ashley, I'm going to have you bring us out on the field today. Obviously, a lot of moving parts. You have grown tremendously since I've known you. You've grown tremendously over the last few years. Like, what's the message that you need to hear? What would you tell yourself today? And bring us out on the field on this beautiful Friday morning. Let's go.
I will tell you that Eric King's voice has been ringing through my ears rent-free since the mid-year review. And something that he said, people ask me all the time what I'm doing, and the answer is nothing. I've just been throwing out seeds for so many years, as many as I possibly can, and they're all starting to come to harvest. And it was just a huge reminder that every single day we have the opportunity to plant as many seeds as we possibly can, however that looks for us. And if we just keep doing that consistently, harvest is going to come.
Yeah. And he said it with a couple more F-bombs, but I think the message was very, very clear. So absolutely, we reap what we sow. And you have to ask yourself, am I even planting enough? Right? Like, oh, this whole video thing, Elias always talks about video. Well, am I planting enough videos on social media to even see anything sprout? Maybe you just got like a little leaf that popped up. You're like, oh my God, I gotta leave. I gotta leave. And then you start seeing the stock, and then you start seeing berries, and then you're like, oh my God, I got this beautiful, fruitful tree, just because you decided to start planting and posting. So Ashley, I love it. Oh, my sound is low. Let me turn it up. I'm sorry. Beautiful. I was doing something else. Okay, cool. Thank you, Judith. She is my co-pilot always. So thank you, Judith. All right, let's get into this. I don't want to wait until next week. I think that it is time. I think that we are ready. I think that it is an opportunity for us. This is Action Friday. So what I want to do is I want to do some planning today. I want to do some writing. And so buckle up, because that's what we're going to do today. So I wanted to ask you guys, if you were to ask yourself an honest question right now, if you look at your year, and if you haven't been here for an entire year, it's okay. Just look at the amount of time that you've been in this business. I want you to ask yourself right now, is this a year of pride? Meaning, have you done the things that are really super prideful in your business? Have you planted the seeds, as Ashley was saying? Have you made the calls? Have you made the strides? Have you attended the sessions? Have you done the training? Have you booked the appointments, right? Is this a year that you are super, super prideful of? If you're a veteran on this call, is this a year that you say, you know what? Despite the 10, 15 years that I've been in this game, I've truly, truly dialed in my systems. I've been able to have more clarity in my business. I went on vacation. I'm still growing. And what's happening is I'm still evolving. Even 10, 15 years later, I'm still evolving this business, evolving. So is this a year of pride for you? Or is this the year that you say that I could have done more? I could have showed up more. I could have made more phone calls. I could have pushed for an appointment. I could have made video. I could have done the things that I've been hearing, that have been echoing in my mind and that resonate over and over and over again. But for some reason, I just didn't do it. So a year of pride Or is this a year that I could have done more? And you guys sit with your own answer. I don't need to have that answer here. If you guys want to share, share, but I want you guys to sit with that. And here's what I want to do. I told you guys on Wednesday that my coach asked me, how are we going to finish Q3 strong as an organization? We're always forecasting. We're always looking at our projections, where we're going, where the business is going to come from, and what is going to move the needle as an entire organization. You guys are CEOs of your own corporation. You guys need to be treating it that way. As the CEO of your corporation, you also run your sales department. You're also accounts receivable, accounts payable. You are also the people that are doing all of the administrational tasks if you do not have an assistant or a virtual assistant. So as the CEO of the company, and as you're projecting to make sure that you close out Q3 very strong, I want to ask you guys, you have 52 days left in quarter three. And what I wrote here in my notes is that quarter three is a gateway. And I mentioned this other way. It's a gateway to a holiday season, fall season, winter season. We know December is historically a slower month. We understand that. And so you have to look at your business and say, okay, if I have 53 days left in Q3, what am I going to do to have the quarter that I desire? And what I want to do today is I want to go to the board. We're going to break you guys into breakout rooms. And what you're going to do in those breakout rooms is feel free to write this down because it's going to be important. First and foremost, in your breakout rooms, I want you to write down your production goal. That's units and that's GCI, right? Now, if you don't know what GCI is or how to derive your GCI, which is your gross commission income before you pay out splits or anything else, I want you to raise your hand if you do not know exactly how to figure out your gross commission income. And please, if you don't, it's okay. That's why we're here. We're learning. I just want to make sure everyone's clear on that. Okay, cool. So you guys in this industry are paid and then you are getting a raise based on GCI level, meaning GCI is the number that you get before you pay any splits. So before we go further, you guys, I'm going to spend a quick minute on this. I'm going to pull up my calculator and I'm going to walk you through this. Now, mind you, if you've done this before, bear with me, you guys. I'm just going to take less than 2 minutes doing this. So I'm going to get my calculator ready and then I'm going to pull this up. Okay. Cynthia Jackson, you're on the call. And I'm just going to... Oh, I'm getting a little bit of... I'm getting a little bit of echo back from you. Okay, cool. Cynthia Jackson, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So for Q3, as you're writing out your goals to make sure that you have a gateway into the holiday season, gateway into the fall season, make sure that you have some momentum, right? Tell me, how many homes would you like to sell first and foremost? What is that goal in the next 52 days? Sorry, if I said 53, it's 52.
Okay, so let's just say 52 days, let's just say 5.
All right, cool. So have you sold 5 homes yet this year?
No.
All right, so I want you to do something that is smaller, meaning that I don't think, I'm not saying that you can't hit 5. I believe you can, but let's go a little bit smaller for this particular.
Okay. Let's say 3.
3, okay, cool, 3. Now, average price point in the market that you serve, I know that you live in the Hercules area. What is the average price point for homes in that area?
Right now, roughly low end about 800, about 750.
7, okay.
Yeah.
So let's take 750,000, right? Times 3 homes that she wants to sell. That is $2,250,000 worth of real estate volume. With me so far, Cynthia?
Yes.
All right. So we times that by the average percentage of commission that you will make on each of those deals, which is roughly around 2.5%. Now, can that change in the future? Absolutely. I'm just talking about right now. So let's say that. So now your gross commission income is $56,250. That's how your gross commission income is derived. Now, from that, you would pay your split and any other applicable fees that you're going to pay and taxes and so on and so forth. But the big number, the whole number, is the number that I want you to focus on, 56,250. From that number, you would minus your split. Say if it is a 25%, So it's 14,000 from that. That means there's a new grand total of 42,187. So the point being for this exercise, you guys, when we're talking about ending Q3 with momentum, making sure that you guys have stability, you have a business that is forecastable. You guys have to understand your numbers. We're going to go over this and over this and over this. We do business plan at the beginning of the year, but that's at the beginning of the year. Here we are. We're just getting short focus and we're going to do a sprint. So you have 52 days left. Cynthia wants to sell 3 homes at an average price point of 750,000, meaning that grand total volume was 2.2 million, 2.250. Now, if she's getting paid 2.5% from that, that means her gross commission income is 56,250. You guys have to look at this and understand where you're at and where you're going. So the first question is production goal, units and GCI. And you want you to get clear on that in your group. The second is, how the fuck am I going to get there? Meaning, the only way that I'm going to get to that level of production, those 3 deals, is by doing what, Cynthia? In order for you to sell 3 homes, what do you need to do?
Well, I need to prospect. That's for certain.
Perfect. All you need to do, and we'll make it very, very simple for this. I'm not going to go into a whole business planning session. You need to have conversations with consumers that are thinking about buying and selling real estate, right? Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where are those conversations coming from? And what you have to do is you have to say, if I'm going to do 3 deals, that means that on an average, and let's just clear this out. If I want to sell 3 homes, well, it's going to probably take about 80 conversations to get into 1 contract. And those are really, really, tough numbers to swallow for some people. That's a lot of conversations. So let's times that by 80. So that means 240 conversations that you need to have in the next 52 days. So if you divide that by 52, that means, well, shit, on an average, I need to have about 5 conversations a day. Some days I'll have more because I'm door knocking. Maybe I'll have some more because I did an event, right? So you have to look at it down to the finite numbers to say, this is how I'm going to have a positive Q4. If you wake up today and you don't have any conversations, well, shit, now I got to play catch up. And then what happens is that sometimes we go days and days and days without having a real estate conversation about buying or selling real estate. Why? Because we're busy in our inbox. We're doing other things. We think that we're busy, but we're not. The goal of real estate is to have conversations with people that are interested in buying and selling real estate. Jakara, can we get that equation? Which one? Sorry, before I go on, I want to make sure I don't miss your question.
You're good. The one that you just wrote down for Cynthia. I was listening to the numbers, but I was like, it all made sense to me. And I'm sorry my camera's not on. I'm like doing other things
Okay,
right
well,
now.
I went through 2 formulas. So which formula, the GCI or the conversations?
The conversation.
All right, conversations is simple. If you want to sell, just take whatever amount of homes that you want to sell. Say you want to sell 5 homes. Well, on an average, it's going to take you about 80 conversations to get into 5 contracts, 80 conversations for 1 contract. So that means I have to do 400 conversations in order for the likelihood of me to get into 5 contracts. There's a likelihood. Now, obviously, you might get in the contract at 30 conversations, 20 conversations, 50 conversations. I want you guys to be super realistic. The thought of this is making sure that you're getting the at-bats. And a great example is Patrick and David and Mark, people that no matter what, hell or high water, they're in the office every single day and they're dialing for dollars. I promise you, and I'll put them on Front Street right now. If I call Patrick right now and said, Patrick, tell me how many conversations you've had in the last 2 weeks, he probably has that number. So this is the number, Jakar, that you want to be very clear with. How am I having those conversations? My social media, my events that I'm throwing, my prospecting, my circle prospecting, my door knocking, my open houses. Those are all the things that lead to you having real estate conversations. But what we do sometimes is we get stuck not doing enough. How many people on this call, if we're being honest, have ever got stuck in the cycle of not doing enough to drive their business forward? Yeah. The moment you break that, then shit changes in your game. And let's just do a quick example here while I had Patrick on. Patrick, in the last 2 weeks, my man, or last week, I'll just make it easier on you. How many conversations have you had? How many phone calls have you made? Let's go.
Yeah. No, for sure. Good morning, guys. Just the other day on Tuesday, we did 57 expired calls, and after that, we did a lunch from 12:30 to 1, and 1 from 3:30. We did 60. We're putting out 60 flyers for door knocking to do a market update, but we didn't pass out those flyers until we had conversations or if there's potential. So there was more than obviously 60 doors knocked, because you're gonna get a lot of people shutting down their door in your face and stuff. But overall, really, the last 2 weeks we've had about 240 plus conversations, and it's not the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you put into your system, you realize that wow, it's not really that hard to create conversations or find people to have that conversation. There's a lot of leeway. Go to a garage sale. Who knows? Hey, why are you selling your garage? Why are you selling your stuff? Are you moving away? There's a lot of ways you can conversate with people.
I love this. I love this. And you guys have been able to secure a couple listings in the last couple weeks just from making phone calls, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just last week, we had 3 listing appointments and bagged all 3 of those. 1 wet signatures and 2 being revisited today. About verbal agreements, right? But we don't want to count our chicken. But
that's what's up. That's what's up. And you guys, here's what's cool about it. They go into the office and they make this an event. They put Glenn Ross on the TV, coffees for closers, the second place gets a set of knives. And that's a really cool movie if you're, into like historical sales movies, but they put that on there because that puts them in a state. They got their music, they got their notes, they got their flow, but they're also dressed for success, right? They feel good, they look good, they probably smell good. They got Glenn Ross on, and they're in there to do one thing. I'm going to book an appointment today. I'm going to book an appointment. So it's that simple. So back to this. Conversations, where are those conversations going to come from? So first one was production goal, units and GCI. Second is conversations. How many conversations are you going to have over the next 52 days? And where are those conversations going to come from? Right? You guys know where to go for those conversations. And part 3, what skill do you need to improve in the next 52 days? What skill? Is it time management? Is it systems? Is it organization? Is it closing? Is it open-ended questions? Is it articulation of your value? Is it the buyer's consultation? Is it the buyer rep agreement? What is the skill that you need to improve upon in the next 52 days? I want you to be very clear on that. And then ask yourself why. Why do I need to improve on this skill? What is the impact in my business? What is the impact in my business? You guys with me? Any questions thus far? We good? Take yourself off of mute. Let me hear from you guys. Just give me yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. All right. All right. And then part 4 of this is how many times in the next 52 days will I exercise? Will I exercise? And I'm not telling you to go run a marathon. I'm not telling you to be a triathlon. I'm telling you to make that a goal for yourself, because we miss workouts. We don't do it because we get busy. And I promise you guys, if you walk into that cycle, that is a very, very dangerous cycle. Kenny posted a video yesterday, and it really struck a nerve with me, and it struck a chord with me. And it stated, like, how do you want your last 10 years to be? Do you want your last 10 years to be you're not able to get out of bed, you can't even hug your family, you are, being cared for by your loved ones, you are sick, whatever that is? Or do you want to be that vibrant 80-year-old that's still bebopping around and has energy and has, the stamina to do things because they took care of themselves at a younger age, right? They have, and maybe it lands more for me because I'm 44 years old, you guys. I'm 44. And so when I look at this, how do I want that last 10 years to be? And so I want you to be very clear of how many times you're going to exercise over the next 52 days. And the last, what does hitting this goal mean to you? What does hitting this goal mean to you? And who is impacted by the result of that success? Right? Who is impacted by a result of that success? Is it your family? Is it your mom? Is it you know what, I'm finally able to go on that vacation, whatever that is. My kids want to go to Disney World for Christmas or Disneyland. They want to walk down Main Street. We've never been able to do that. But man, if I could get 4 homes in contract, I got it. I got it. If I could 20, 40, 60, 80 G's in the next 52 days, man, that's going to open up some opportunities for me and my family. Fuck, even if you did 2 deals and your average commission was 20 G's, what does that do for your life? And who is impacted by that? So you guys, this is grind time. This is wartime. And this is the time where you look at this quarter and say, you know what, I'm going to own it. And I'm going to take this next 52 days and I'm going to turn it up a notch. So before I go any further, before I open up these breakout rooms, I want anybody to share their thoughts, contributions before we get into these breakout rooms. Anybody have anything on their mind, anything sparked from anybody on this call right now? Please feel free to raise your hand, get involved in the conversation, and I'd love to hear from you. Anybody got anything?
Elias,
Hey, Elias.
going over this. Oh,
All right, so that was a tie. So we'll go Princess and then we'll go Blessing.
no, thank you for going over this. Sometimes we just kind of need this to kind of reel things back in. I remember doing this like earlier in the year, and definitely have kind of fallen off. But this is pulling me back in and knowing what I need to focus on. So great session today.
I love it. And listen, we're just getting started, right? You still got 25 minutes. But I want to give you some kudos and as Jeff Phillips would say, give you flowers while you're here to smell them. So yesterday, Blessing, who else was there? Blessing, I'm sorry, Princess was there. Who else was in our session yesterday?
Marissa and Christina.
So we all did a Spark Hire buyer presentation workshop. And it was just the 4 of us, and Princess came correct. She came with her flow. She came with, the right things to say, but she had been putting it off for a while. For whatever reason, and she came correct. And so it's exciting to see that you're saying, you know what? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take things to the next level. So I just want to give you kudos where kudos were due, because I saw something in you yesterday and it was really, really cool to see you take shit to the next level. So a huge shout out to you. Blessing, you had a contribution, you had a thought. Let's go to you.
I did. I wanted to say that, last year when I first joined the team, you were having these conversations and you were saying very similar, and I'm getting, everything in real estate is cyclical, that this Q3 doesn't just set up the rest of your year, it sets up Q1 and Q2. Like literally everything that was done this time last year, the people who actually did it and dug deep, they were able to ride that momentum. And so after the post-holiday, when no one really wants to do anything or it's a scramble to get started, there was already that momentum going. And I was literally just thinking about, okay, let me go back to my notes. And today's session is, just that recap of it. So super timely, but just making sure, I know what my obstacles have been, and I've been very, open with the group about it. But when you let those obstacles really define you, you don't do the hard work. And I don't think that I've ever learned the lesson of you have to do the hard stuff now if you want it to be easy later. Like if you don't do it now, it's such a gut punch to look back and be like, fuck, I should have done that. Ooh. And I didn't. But like right now, like this conversation is that moment to be like, put your head down, go dark, and do what you need to. So super, super timely. I'm very appreciative of this conversation.
God, I so land with this and connect with this, because there was a time in my career, early on, where I would put all the hard stuff off, right? All the hard stuff, the path of least resistance, right? I would take that path. I'm like, I'm going to go there. And then somebody sat me down, one of my early mentors, just said, I want you to write down, what are the hardest things in your career right now? What are the projects that you believe to be the hardest ones, whether it's putting on an event, putting on a training, putting a coaching together, rolling out a new campaign for the company, whatever that is. And they said, I want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on that and never take the path of least resistance. I think it's easy for us to get caught up in some of the easier things. You guys, the hard things are what move your business forward in this You guys can hire an assistant to do all the other stuff. I promise you. You guys can hire an assistant. You can use our assistant, shit. But I want you guys to lean right into that heavy stuff and that hard stuff and look it dead in the eyes and say, I'm going to take this on first. Because on all the other stuff, it's just complementary. So let's do this, you guys. We're going to break out into rooms. I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms. But here's the thing, you guys. Be good in these rooms, meaning like show up, participate, raise your hand, put your cameras on. This is an opportunity for you to say, you know what? I'm down for this. And let me recap on this in case you guys missed any of the questions. Number one, production goal, units and GCI. Number two, conversations, meaning where is all the conversations going to come from? You guys have a brainstorm on that. Number three is what skills do I need to improve upon in the next 52 days and why? How many times am I going to exercise? Okay. And what does this goal mean? Hitting this goal mean to you? And to dovetail off of that, who's impacted by the result of your success? You guys, I want you guys to think about it. If you on line 3 said, what skills do I need to improve upon and why? I need to work on this, or I want to do this. This is event season, right? In the next couple of months, you guys, you're going to see so many people going to events, posting events, marketing events, and you're going to have really the pick of the litter. Well, if you don't have the budget to go to any of these events, because I promise you guys, they're fucking expensive, right? And then you got to spend time away from the family. Who's going to watch the kids? All the things, right? But I promise you, those things are really impactful for your career. So if you want to improve upon a skill, but you know it's going to cost a little bit of money, maybe that drives you to get that extra goal or that extra deal. So you have the money to take care of the travel and the education and the rooms that you want to get in for this next couple of months. So guys, I'm going to put you in some breakout rooms. We all clear on the direction for the breakout rooms? Everybody clear? All right. If you need any help, make sure to come back or just raise your hand in your group. I'm going to do this. We're going to do this for 10 minutes. I'm going to go 5 breakout rooms here. I'm going to assign automatically. All right, cool. Everyone will be in a room. Please participate. Everyone write. If you're driving, it's okay. Remember this, put in your notes section, whatever you got to do. But I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, we'll get everybody back in the room and we'll do a little debriefing. Shelly's on her 7th mile. Go, girl, go. All right, guys, we'll do a couple debriefs here. Let me make sure everyone is back in the room. All right, cool. Awesome. So who would like to share what their goals are for the next 52 days? Now, obviously, don't want you to be shy. So go ahead and throw your hands up. Let's go ahead and get in flow. Let's go, Christina. I appreciate you being here, throwing your hand up and getting in the mix. Let's go.
I'm so excited right now.
Okay, good.
I said 3 with my group. And as I was in the group, I just got my listing signed. So I'm super excited, ready to get that going. My first transaction. So the energy is high. And I think what I really need to work on is my systems. I'm working full time still. So getting everything in order is going to help me be a lot more productive and reach my goal. So I think that's my number 1 priority. I'm going to go to the efficiency event so I can see if that'll help me. But yeah, I think that's my goal is 3. And that would be, if my price range is around 700, it would be around 52,000 GCI. And this would benefit my family. So it was just great to see what everyone else had too.
Beautiful. And who in your family? Let's be a little bit more specific. Is it your significant other? My
parents, they're far away, and I feel like sometimes I don't have enough time or just to be going back and forth. So I feel like it could maybe help them be able to stay with us a little longer or do a little bit more, just travel to see them.
Well, listen, here's the great thing. And when we're talking about efficiency, you now have all of the cards in your favor. And what I mean by that, as the listing agent, you have to think about this as now This is a vessel for you to market, right? You can knock the neighborhood to let them know that the Johnsons just listed their home. You can knock the neighborhood to let them know that you're having an open house. You can re-knock on the neighbor's door to let them know how many people came to the open house. You can call a bigger radius of people that are in the neighborhoods adjacent to that area. You can post on social media that you have a just listed coming soon. All these things, you have a vessel for marketing because you have a new listing. So congratulations. So when you think about where the conversations can come from, you already have the answers. And it lies with you having all of the cards. So congratulations. Let's give her some love and some light while she's here. Love it. Great job. Congratulations. Let's go to Deep Bledsoe and then we'll go over to Joanne Bat. Deep Bledsoe, let's share, my man.
Yes, so my goal for the next 52 days is to get 4 more in contract. Well, I have one that just went in contract yesterday with Dan, I believe. Listing going live next week, and so hopefully that goes into contract within that period of time. And then 2 more, and that will keep me on the trajectory of at least hitting 12 for the year. My original goal was 24 for the year, but got caught up in a slow 2-3 months here. So yeah, trying to at least get to 12 by the end of the year, and 4 more will put me back on track. And again, I have like 1.5.
Yeah, man. And so are you talking about the one that is pending in Valverde or Del Verde Circle?
Yep, Sacramento.
Very cool. And then you have an active listing. I don't see that on the sales chart right now. You do have an active listing?
It'll go active on next Wednesday, but I put it in the sales tracker when I got the listing agreement signed.
Okay. All right. So that's 6 right now. The hope is that you get 2 more deals from your listing. So that's 6, 7, 8, plus the other ones that you're working with. I think that you're on a really, really good path right now. I think that you're in a really good path to get yourself back to exactly where you need to be. So D Bledsoe, I love it. And congrats on your new contract.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's go, Joanne Batten. I need 2 other people to volunteer to contribute, to give their insight and give their goals. Let's go, Joanne.
All right. Hi, guys. Hi, Elias. Okay, so I'm trying to be realistic. I said I'm hoping to sell 2 units in the next 52 days. Average price, I just figured about $1 million. The area that I service kind of, it's all over the board between 500 and like 2 million. So I figured $1 million is a good number to kind of stick on. So that would be gross commission of 50,000. And so I think I'm hoping to have more conversation in person. I do have a lot of opportunities. I don't always take those opportunities, I realize. So I'm going to try to take advantage of those opportunities more often so I can talk to more people about buying and selling real estate. I do exercise pretty often, almost every day. So I'm saying 45 out of the 52 days. I'm just going back to the list of questions to see if I hit everything.
Yeah,
what does hitting the goal mean to me? Impacted. Yep. So hitting the goal means I'm like on the right path to success, and it would impact my whole family, of course, myself, my husband, and my parents as well.
I love it, Joanne. I love it. Let me ask you one more question. What skills do you believe that you need to improve upon in the next 52 days, and why?
My closing. So I do great with conversing with people, but when I get to that, here's what we're going to do next point, I think I falter. I feel like I need to be more assertive when I talk to people instead of like just saying, oh, okay, well, let me know. I need to be more assertive in my conversation, kind of improve my sales skills.
Ooh, I love this. I love this. And if anybody has any advice for her, make sure to reach out to her. I know that a lot of people have really perfected that, and that's an art form. That's a science. And so really appreciate that contribution. And here's the goal. Every single day, you need to have a minimum of 3 conversations every single day, because your total amount of conversations that you should have in the next 52 days in order for you to hit that goal is 160 conversations. So you need to have those conversations, and the average is 3 a day. But if you're door knocking, you'll obviously do more than that in a day if you're doing events, so on and so forth. So really good stuff, Joanne. Let's go to who else? I thought I saw another hand. Let's go to KC, Catherine Cato, and then we'll go over to Patrick.
Okay, so I have a goal to sell 2 homes And that means I'll have to talk to at least 240 people. The average in my market is 640,000. So that would have me at a gross commission of 32,000.
All right. And so you have 120 conversations for one contract. How did you come up with that number?
What you say?
You have your numbers as 120 conversations for one contract. How did you come up with that number?
I just did 2 times 80.
Yep. So 2 times 80 is, so if you take the 2 times the 80, that's 160.
Okay, 160. Okay.
So 160, and it's the same exact goal as Joanne. That means that it's 3 conversations a day for the next 52 days. But continue on. Sorry, I just want to make sure I understood your math.
No, I just want to make sure that I had the numbers right as well.
Okay.
And how I'm going to get that is I'm going to cold call more, and I'm going to start door knocking. Just stop procrastinating and stop making an excuse and just go outside. Even if I'm like, where do I start? I just start in my own neighborhood. Just go walk on my front door and that. So I'm just gonna start doing that from this day forward, and I'm just on a whole new leaf.
Let's
I just
go.
have to change.
Let's
Yes.
go. You guys, I sat in a mastermind last year at the Livermore Airport, and this guy did $70 million in production as a solo agent. 70 million. You want to know how he got his business? He said, I bought some walking shoes and I just walked and I knocked and I knocked and I walked. And then when my shoes weren't comfortable anymore, I bought new shoes and I knocked some more. And that's how he built that business. But that's like, listen, you guys can park in front of my fucking house. I live in complete suburbia, right? And if you go and knock 300 doors over the next couple of days, I promise you this, I promise you, somebody will either want to talk to you about listing their home, know somebody that's trying to move into that area, or you're going to get some great information about how you can serve them in the future. I promise you. But you do that in any neighborhood. Something positive.
Quick question while we're on the door knocking. So that's where I'm getting a little stuck at too, is the script. So what should I say or what should I bring out that is tangible? I mean, I was looking on YouTube. I've seen some Ricky Caruth scripts and stuff. I didn't know to look at those. I didn't know what should I really say to just make it work.
Take 3 homes that recently sold. I want you to go on the MLS and see how much they sold over asking and how many offers were on each of those homes. And based on that data that you find for that particular neighborhood, you will probably find that values are up.
Okay.
Hello, hi there. My name's Catherine. I just want to come by. I want to congratulate you, and I want to congratulate all the neighbors. What are you talking about? I want to congratulate you. Values are up. You just had 3 sales that just happened over the last 3 months. I wasn't the listing agent, but I want to bring this information to you because it is an amazing time to put your house on the market if you've ever considered doing that. Knowing it's such a hot time on the market, have you ever considered putting your house on the market? Yes, no, or indifferent, right? You want to have that conversation with them. It's literally that simple. Go take someone else's fucking production and put it on a spreadsheet. Don't take credit for it and go out there and tell the neighbors that the values of their homes are up in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Easy.
That's easy.
Open houses, you're inviting them to the open house. Plus you're doing a private open house for the neighbors. And by the way, Tom, what's your goals with the property over the next 2 years? Well, you know, kids or whatever it is. Wonderful. You're data mining, you're getting information. All you have to do is just go out there and talk to people, and you're going to find people that want to talk to you because you have a good spirit, you have good energy, and you have good data for them.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Awesome. Awesome, Catherine. And I have a whole list of scripts. If you don't know where they are, I'll make sure to give that to you. There's some really good scripts, and there's also some video examples in there. Let's go, Pat.
Okay.
Elias, real quick, can you give me that too, please?
Yeah,
Cynthia?
sure.
Okay, thanks.
Let's go, Pat.
Cool. Yeah, so real quick, units 3, average here is 950 for a single family household, so it's 71,250 for gross, but honestly, I'm not looking at that number specifically. I just want to sell 3 units a month. Conversational wise, 240 no less in a week, right? 250 no less. There's no reason why we shouldn't be reaching out every day, at least 50, right? We can do that, right? Skills, you know, originally I put in organization, but you know, Cynthia said something about negotiation. That's something I reflected on, and kind of like Joanne, it's something that I feel like we all have to work on anyway. Closing, going for the ask, and all that. And reason being is because we need to build that knowledge and be comfortable with what we're saying and being used to all those curveballs that they're doing, but this rejection and all that. And we got to get that, the sling in action on. So that's something, the skills wise, that's what I need to improve on. Exercise every day, 30 minutes, walk, jog, stretch, whatever it is, every day, don't matter.
Man, I love this.
Yeah, and meaning for this, who's impacted by this, who's going to be happy, it's going to be my future self. I'm working this hard for my future self to make him proud.
Man, I absolutely love this. I love this. And dude, I appreciate you being able to go so far in the numbers. And that's what this is all about. Being able to be very, very like clear, just be clear on what these numbers are. Because if you don't have clarity, then what the fuck are we working towards? Right? We're working towards like, oh, maybe I'll hit that. No, I want to be number one in the entire company, right? And we're teetering back number one, number two. If we land on number two, I'm okay with it. There's over 90,000 people in this company, but like we're clear on where we need to go. We're comparing it to last year. We're comparing it month to month, quarter to quarter. So love what you're doing, Pat. Good stuff. I want to go over to one of our guests, Cindy Cruz. Hi, I'm Elias. I don't think we've met yet. How did you find out about our group? And thanks for being here.
Hi, Elias. I've actually met you before. I'm on the Larson team. Jeremy Larson.
Hi, Cindy. I was like, you look familiar. The name looked familiar.
No,
How you doing?
I probably remember you a lot more than you remember me because, but yeah, so I saw your stuff on Facebook and I just decided to pop in, and just with all the changes and stuff that are going on, I did see that you had posted about it, but I couldn't find that. So I'm like, I'll just join this.
No worries. Just so you know, thank you for being here. Personally, I really, really appreciate it. Next Wednesday, we have Kendall Bonner, who is the Vice President of Industry Relations for all of EXP. That's going to be a session that I want you to attend, but I'm really, really glad that you're here at this session. But Cindy, let me ask you one question. What was the takeaway from our time together today?
To set goals, to like be intentional. Oops.
You're good. I said you.
Yeah, just to be intentional about what the next 52 days are going to be. I mean, I didn't have a half hour ago, I didn't have a plan, and now I have a plan.
I love it. Well, do me a favor. You give Jeremy a big hug for me and tell him that I appreciate him and I love him. You guys, in the chat down below, I put a document. You guys can pull that document out. I made it shareable for everybody. You'll see tons of scripts on there. Also, you'll see a few videos that you guys can use just so you can see it in real time. Let's go to one other person for a quick takeaway, and then we're going to wrap sesh. Chris B, my man, big dog, let's hear from you. One key takeaway from our time together today. It's always good seeing you.
Key takeaway is just evaluating what you're currently doing, setting the proper goals and numbers, and making it happen.
Right. That's right. You guys just gotta, if you just adjusted your sail a little bit, right? You got to think about that just a little bit. You're going to give your boat a completely different direction. If you're a golfer and you hit that ball a millimeter different, that sends the ball in a completely different direction. That's how you have to think about it, you guys. Got 52 days. Like I said, Q3 is the gateway. It's a gateway to some freedom in the downtime, some freedom for you guys to be able to go travel, spend some time. If you celebrate Christmas, buy gifts, do whatever you do. So Q3 is a gateway to so much opportunity for you and for your family. So go make it happen. If you need anything, let me know. I'm going to go to the grindstone again to get ready for an 11 o'clock session that I have. But I'm stoked. I appreciate you guys. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and crush your weekend. Peace.